Welcome everyone to the Runeterra show with everyone who is amazing on the team. No one noticeably absent at all. So let's see what we're talking about today. We're talking about the meta, the ladder. The hell's going on there? We ran a tournament last Saturday, which Aikado cast and was won by triple monkey deck apparently. If I need any more proof for why best of 3 is better than best of 1, I think we've got it. I think this is it's because like is that even a deck? Like it hit ladder for a second, but like is it still there? Like I feel like it's like falling off.
I think it's the second most played deck right now.
Oh, is it really? It's still around? Okay.
Yeah, it's still a deck.
Fair enough. Okay, triple though. Triple fucking monkey is like next level.
Well, the reason that you can play triple monkey is because it's like 33 of the cards are Bilgewater non-champion. So it's really not
basically
that
the
hard
same deck.
to put it together. Yeah.
All right.
It's way better than triple tree. Jesus.
Wait, what do you mean, bro? It's no.
From a.
Are you saying that they should bring tree back?
No,
you know
no,
what?
no.
I agree with you, Jason Sitchell. That is a great idea.
As in the
You heard it
power
here
level across the 3 Pandemonium decks is a lot closer to each other than a triple tree lineup ever could.
Talking about tree, so something that I have been feeling, if we're talking about like the meta and where we're kind of at on ladder right now, Kai'Sa is the worst thing on the planet to play against. It really makes it makes my blood boil every single game. And I was thinking back to like the last time a deck really pissed me off this much, and I think it's tree. I think it's literally playing against tree and just being like, there's nothing I can do about this.
I miss tree
and
so
if
much.
Like it's turn 5, I haven't killed them yet, I guess I lose the game.
They're better decks, bro. Lots of decks beat fucking tree. Not a lot of things beat Kai'Sa.
Okay, buddy.
All right. Anyways, I'll let the tree thing die, but I'm with you with fucking Kai'Sa. Like, there's never been a meta where I just straight up like quit. Basically, this meta's basically made me quit. I still keep playing. Like, I'll just like, I don't know, every day or other day, I'll just be like, what beats Kai'Sa, and try to like, or like, what new hotness is there out there? I just try a different deck and lose, and then try a different deck and lose, and try a different deck and lose. And to be fair, some of that's on me. But like playing against Kai'Sa is like, it's miserable. It's really just not. It's not fun. And I'm just not having fun in general with like any of the decks, kind of. And so, I mean, again, could be me.
It might be again, like I could be bad at the game, and maybe there's stuff that actually beats Kai'Sa that I just haven't figured out yet. But I'm telling you, every single game when it's turn 4 and I'm looking at my hand and I'm like, I really need to kill them this turn. If we go into next turn, I fucking lose the game. Like that sort of stuff, it just really frustrates me. I know that Yasuo actually beats it. People talk about monkeys beating it. Monkeys does not beat that fucking deck. That is pure copium.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I don't think there are real counters to it that are like actually good decks, and it's such a frustrating deck to play against because it just kills you on turn 5 or turn 6. And even the games I win, I sit there and I'm like, my opponent's a fucking idiot. They could have won this game if they did this, and this. That's the most frustrating part is even when I win, I'm like, I shouldn't have won that game.
Yeah. So okay. So here's my question then, because I feel the same way. And so maybe you can chime in here. But like when you look at the ladder, why isn't it fucking Kai'Sa from top to bottom? Because it's not. Like, the top 10 there's like maybe like, I don't know, 1 or 2 in there, and then like down below you start getting into a lot of Kai'Sa. But like the top like 12 or whatever, 15, like it's not really like what you would expect from like, remember Ari Cannon when it was just like just all Ari Cannon all the way down. So like what gives here? What's going on?
So first of all, there are a bunch of different Kai'Sa variants. I think the thing that y'all are complaining about is the most common one, which is just mono Kai'Sa, right? It's the all in, I want to kill you on turn 5 or 6 deck.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. That deck is actually really, really hard to play well. People, and this is kind of what Aikado was saying, where he feels like when he won against it, his opponent was just, as he said, a fucking idiot. Like the deck is really good, but it's actually really high skill cap, and it's having this thing that happens where people are playing it and it's such a good deck that they're winning with it despite playing it badly. So when you're looking at the very top of ladder, you're not going to get the top filled in by people who are still playing a deck badly. Right?
It kind of reminds me of like Azir Irelia, where like the really good Azir Irelia players were like super hard to beat. But like, even if you're bad at the deck, like some of your hands were just so strong that didn't matter. You just win the game anyway. You know, you just turn your brain off, you slam some cards, and it works, man.
So okay, but then
the closest thing is Isaiah Aurelia. Yes.
So here's the thing though. There's sorry to interrupt you. There's lots of players who just want to climb, right? Lots of players like LP is really important this season for Worlds, for for the ranking and for getting the top cut. It's very important. Lots of people are climbing. Why aren't the top players playing it more then, if it's so damn good?
Well, a couple of them are, and a couple of them are playing, and a couple of them are playing things that are reasonably good against Kai'Sa, right? Like if you look at the, and this is why I've switched up when I'm playing. I'm on Akshan Kai'Sa, which is a very different deck. But you look at the rest of the top players. You see things like this new Katarina TF deck, which does fine into Kai'Sa. You see things like Scion, which does fine into Kai'Sa. You see things like Thralls or this.
Is Scion fine into it?
Yes. It's
so
just
cool.
It's okay.
The cool thing you can do with Kai'Sa or with Scion is if you're running like Vi and survival skills, suddenly it's really fucking hard to swing in with Kai'Sa like ever. Like survival skills just blows out that deck super hard.
Like, how the fuck is Hanzo climbing with Thralls when he's like, yeah, I just can't beat Kai'Sa?
Thralls is like an 80-20 into Pandemonium, and he just
Thralls
dodges it.
beats everything else. The answer
He
is
just
if you're
dodges
dodging
Kai'Sa.
Kai'Sa, then Thralls is beating everything else. And
Sorry,
Except for Zeralia, maybe.
I like the survival skills thing.
Yeah, that's one of the big things that Scion does. And it's also just a really powerful aggro deck, right? Like it plays half discard aggro, half oops your Kai'Sa turn didn't matter, and they're doing fine, right? I've done a bunch of my climbing this season with Kai'Sa, but I did about half of it with Gwen Aphelios on the back of the Kai'Sa matchup. Like when the only thing I could play against in the entire ladder was Bardalawi and Kai'Sa, I just started playing Blinded Mystic. Like, I honestly think that the reason I'm not saying the deck isn't a little above power level, but what I am saying is that people don't play the counters, and we see this consistently. Like people don't want to reach into types of decks that they're not comfortable with to counter a metagame.
So what are the best counters? Like spiders?
Any Jin does pretty well.
Any Jin is significantly favored into that deck. As I said, Gwen Aphelios mid-range invoke nonsense is significantly favored into that deck. And then the monkeys decks are actually favored into non-Akshan versions.
No, they aren't.
Yeah,
I promise you, I played the matchup. I played a lot of monkeys the last few days. I played like one day of it. I'm like, this deck's dog shit. I'm never gonna play it. And then it won a tournament, and I'm like, okay, I'll try again. And the deck's okay. But the Kai'Sa matchup, dude, you really do have to be like killing them on like turn 4 or turn 5. Because the moment Kai'Sa comes down, you don't have real interaction for her. And even if you Pandemonium, Cataclysm literally blows the entire thing out. Plus they run Radiant Guardian. Plus, they always high rolled the fucking 1-drop with Lifesteal. That matchup is not a good matchup. It is. I promise you.
Yeah, I think people are losing the monkeys deck because they're playing poorly against the monkeys deck.
Annie Jin has a 53% win rate against Kai'Sa.
Yeah, I also
if that's her
think
best
a great
matchup, bro, I don't. And I would love to run like stuff like mid-range Shargon. It sounds fun. But the thing is, like, Blinded Mystic is like cool and all. How do you deal with Kai'Sa?
You have a whole bunch of different. So first of all, you don't always need to deal with Kai'Sa, and I think this is one of those things that people are failing to understand about how to beat the Kai'Sa deck. If what you're worried about is them killing you on turn 5 or 6, Kai'Sa on her own doesn't do shit. If you just sit there and make sure she's the only unit on the board, she looks like a dumbass 6/6.
As long as she's not like leveled up with all the abilities.
No, even if she's leveled up, she's a 6/6 quick attack. Whatever.
But she hits you for a bunch and she has scout and then she kills you.
No, she doesn't. That's the point. If she doesn't have anything else on the board to proc off of, then it doesn't matter.
So this is another thing where I'm like, I think that the Kai'Sa players are bad. Where like, I think that realistically, if we could sit there and be like, okay, so we just have to remove their Valors and remove their Spell Shield guys and remove their 6/6 Overwhelm that comes down on turn 4, and we remove, just everything, then like maybe we're fine. But I think if they're allowing that to happen, and not enough Kai'Sa players take turn 5 off, honestly. I think that is there are situations where you just shouldn't drop Kai'Sa on 5. And I think that like, maybe maybe there is like this meta game where we can, play like removal Targon and like get rid of all the stuff around her, and maybe we can, not have to deal with Kaisa. But I think there's an evolution that like the next step up is an even stronger Kaisa deck that just, if people start playing right, I don't know if we can beat it.
I mean, that's literally what I've been playing. Yes.
Yeah, no, I that's why I'm saying Kaisa's broken.
That's what I am saying is I do think the champion is slightly overpowered, but I think right now the deck that people are playing is very counterable. Also, Yasuo, right? We were talking about Yasuo Katarina does great into that deck. It crushes it.
Such a high quality deck, boy. Yasuo.
Wait.
We can go out,
me?
pick this tournament, and
Someone hold it back.
Excuse me?
Jason, take your headphones out. You don't need to listen to this.
I would have top cut if I didn't fucking throw against Roji. Fuck me.
Okay, so
but that's besides the point. Sorry.
something that it's something that I've noticed playing against Kaisa that's really frustrates me is because ladder is closed deck list, and because there's like 4 different builds, and even the mono Kaisa players, some are running A-bomb, some aren't, some are running 2 deny, some are running no deny. It's very different, and I think it's incredibly frustrating to not be able to know what your opponent's running, because there's so many different ways. I kind of just have to assume like what build they're running and just like hope, and sometimes they just like pass it down and then like they drop an A-bomb and I'm like, oh well, fuck, this is an A-bomb version. I guess I can't beat that. There's a lot of stuff that just culminates into just an incredibly frustrating experience playing against this deck.
You know what else is good against Kaisa that everyone's ignoring? Fizz Riven. Fizz Riven's really good against it. You just combo out faster and they can't kill you.
I don't know if that's true, actually. I don't think you actually combo out faster. But to Akato's point, though, is interesting with the whole closed decklist thing, because Riot has been trying to make it, no super scouting, all this, like, they want it to be closed decklist, but then they also make it, like, super important to the competitive scene. And so it's like, you're trying to do 2 different things. You're, like, trying to make it closed decklist so it's a little more, like, casual friendly. People can, like, brew things and surprise people, and I think better players tend to have more of an advantage with open deck lists, and so it's like a weird juxtaposition where they're trying, and also it's like not closed deck list, because like should we talk about that for a second with the whole super scouting thing where they like knocked down the tracker and then like still you can just like look up everyone's the same stats like on the same tracker or Runeterra or like anywhere else. Like, that was weird.
So they removed it from the in-game overlay, which was what they said was the big issue, right? So there's no longer.
So now you have to type in the name rather than it just coming up.
I play on stream where it has kind of been overtly stated that looking up your opponent's deck list is giving you an advantage that you otherwise shouldn't have and is cheating. So I don't do it, but I know a lot of people do look up deck lists still.
Wait,
a lot of people.
Is that why Vader always changed his name to some Asian words? So
Probably. I think that's why people are doing that, so they can't get scouted.
This is like old school StarCraft stuff where everyone turned their name into barcodes, so you couldn't like figure out what they were doing.
Yeah.
I mean, and like if you go to that like degree, there's plenty of other ways to sort of dupe the ladder. Like you can just like start queuing when you see people moving LP playing certain decks, so you just like try to queue counters. Like there's plenty of ways to, like kind of get around it. If you really want to go to that, I guess you can do it. I mean, I won't do it because I'm lazy. I don't particularly care about it, but like I don't know, like where are you drawing the line here, right? Like how much is too much?
The thing is just silly, right? Like they're saying you can't do something that everyone can now do. It makes no sense. And here's the thing: if they said, okay, Runeterra, Master Runeterra, fucking everybody, don't show this information publicly. Now anyone who has access to the API can have it privately for themselves, which is also terrible.
There's a million issues with the whole situation, right? With how Riot's handled it, with what actual solutions there aren't a whole lot of clean solutions to it. But it is kind of a frustration point right now.
I think there's clean
one really
solutions.
clean solution. There's one very simple solution that would be completely clean and fix all of these problems.
Is it get rid of the API?
It's an open deck
No,
list.
it's open deck lists on
Oh.
Ladder.
Yeah, you can go hard one way, hard the other way. Another option though, because I think we should keep stats. I think it's good for the
Stats are
game.
very important. Right?
Yeah.
So like cutting off API isn't a solution I would want to see.
Yeah, no, I totally agreed. I think you just delay it. Just delay the information coming out by like whatever, a day, 2 days, because then you still get the win percentage stats and all that stuff. But then you can't like super scout people, you know.
Maybe.
I'll also point out that kind of my biggest gripe with Runeterra from the word go has always been separation of ladder and competitive formats. So this is really just another symptom of the same thing that we've been doing for years, right? This is the same song and dance where I say you're doing something different with your ladder format that feeds into your top level competitive format than you're doing with your top level competitive format, and that's going to cause
silly.
problems.
It's
So what I'm hearing
silly.
is that you want seasonals to be best of one closed deck list.
Oh
I
God,
would literally rather that than what I have right now. I am not joking.
are you serious? No,
Yes.
there's no way that's better.
Yo.
Come on, bro. I just quit.
No.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
That's
I'm,
the
great.
way.
I'm all in. I care about consistency.
They can't ban my
Jesus.
Yasuo deck anymore.
Wait. Bro, Ari
Can you
Kennedy
imagine
is so
Kaiser
quiet.
seasonals?
Man, that's great. Just queue Yasuo Katarina into like 5 Kaiser players.
That's
Yeah,
not
so you go
legit.
5-4. Good job.
Good times.
Speaking of deviating, how about those different shards? We haven't talked about that in a while, and it'll kind of segue into like the other thing that I want to talk about. But like, I really wish we didn't have shards. Isn't that kind of shit? And also, it's really, you know, what's really funny? How you see people with the whole EU NA hate on. If we all played on one server, no one would give a fuck about that stuff. But it's like because we're divided, it's like everyone gets all tribal and stuff, which I think is
Oh no, you
kind of
know
hilarious.
people still hate on that because just time zones, right?
I mean, I don't know.
100%. Well, I'd shit talk everyone who climbs in the morning. I'm like, bro, you're just farming the EU players. Come on.
Yeah, you're gonna have pocket meta. It's like the EU pocket meta at like 2 a.m.
No,
like, it's
even
small metas,
even
bro.
on the
It's
Americas, everyone's like, like that used to be the thing. It was like, hey, 3 a.m. Go grind, and now it's just like
Still is.
Aikado,
Those hours are still
Santa, Prodigy, Bay. Like it's like everyone knows now. That's not a thing anymore. But I really like, you know, I thought it was a pipe dream to put them all into one server. I don't know why, because Riot just does its thing that way. But when they got rid of that 4th server, just merged it with the other Asia server, I'm like, what? Just keep going. You know, like if you could just merge the servers, like why not keep merging? Did my camera die?
Yes.
Well,
It did.
anyways,
I
so
don't know. I don't think I cared that much, to be honest, about like cross shard or not cross shard. It'd be cool to like
I think it's
be able
no,
to have
it's,
everybody, you know, like
I think it's go,
compete, like,
you
the
go.
same tournaments and stuff. Like that would be cool. You know, I'm down for that. That'd be fun. I'd like to
Bro.
play against other people. I'd like to at least be able to like challenge other people without making a Smurf account and building up a card collection.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. But like at the
How-
same time, I don't care that much.
It's so good for the game because like yeah, challenge, be able to play with anyone around the world is one, but being able to like build big tournaments is like huge. Like the reason we can't have like larger tournaments and like there's no tournaments in Europe. There's just like none. And there's like a
Bro,
couple in Asia and there's
Nice cap
all,
popping off.
Yeah.
what is it?
I thought they've been
They have daily tournaments, don't they?
nice cactus. I thought they've been dead for a while. I heard they stopped paying out. don't
I
know.
did hear
Yeah,
that
I think
too.
they've been dead for a while. I didn't know they were EU.
You
Yeah, they are.
have to be careful about what you wish for, Jason, because if they put cross shard back, then I might have to revive the Mad Men. So you know.
I mean, or the B
I'm good with
side,
it. I'll miss you. Kisses.
Stupidly, it's it was an infrastructure issue, right? Like they weren't able to continue sustaining.
No, that's
That's what
definitely
they said. So I mean,
no. Who said that?
are you calling them liars, Jason? Are you with your you know your internal information by being in the LPP and being very close to the devs? Are you coming out and calling them liars?
Look, all I know is tomorrow when the server goes down for 3 hours, you guys better fucking be ready for it to come back up and only have Path to Champions left on it.
Don't get my hopes up, bro. Come on. I always want to go pro and pass.
Well, now you got your chance, baby. Yeah, I don't know. Fuck, we'll go. That was what I wanted to get to segue towards, though. Was the downtime tomorrow? I didn't think anything of it, and then I was like, we haven't actually seen this like almost ever, and definitely in a long time. And then one of my brought up that the last time it happened was when they took down Cross Shard. So it's a little weird, though. Hey, that they even like maintenance. You know, just give us some bullshit about like maintenance or like some. Normally they tell us like what's going on. It's like we gotta fix something, or the store's broken, or you know it's a patch, or something. Like they tell us like kind of what's going on. 3 hours is a long time, also.
It's kind of weird. I mean, I don't play during that time, so you know it's not going to affect me. As long as the game comes back up at some point, you know, I'm happy. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah,
Is this the part where we make just make predictions on what's going to happen?
wild
based on just,
predictions of what it possibly could be.
Oh, well, yeah, the server's going to go down and it's going to come back up, and there's going to be a whole new limited game mode and best of 3 ladder, and it's going to be the absolute best thing that's ever happened to Runeterra in 3
also
hours.
Cross Shard, and there's going to be paid tournaments in client and
And we're gonna know what Worlds is, and we're gonna know what the prize pool is.
it is
They're
really
gonna,
stupid.
they're gonna sneak 5 different buffs to the lowest played champions. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shadow buff everything.
He also is going to get a second boat. So
Uh,
other thing, so with the big decks that have sort of been on top right now with Kaisa, you know, this new Shen Bar deck, pretty good, and now monkeys are coming out of the woodwork with Powder Pandemonium. There have been quite a few high tier decks that are sort of bug abusing right now. So Kaisa had the sharp sight bug where it was counting towards her evolve, and that eventually got fixed. Powder Pandemonium right now, if you plunder it, you get an extra monkey, which is very impactful, by the way, incredibly impactful. And that card is not a plunder card. It is not doing what the text says it does. And right now, Key Guardian, if you bury something in hand, it procs everything on board. With all of these sort of bug abuse decks, how do you guys feel about playing those types of decks on ladder, abusing the bug? Do you think that it's good? Do you think it's bad? Where do you guys stand on this?
well, yeah, okay. I want to chime in on this because, like, I didn't know a lot of those were bugs. It's like we didn't know the sharp sight one was a bug at first, right?
It was
Like,
confirmed
we had to
day
get confirmation. Okay, but most people probably, like a lot of people probably wouldn't, you know, with the lower tiers and stuff. Like I don't even know what the monkey one is you're talking about. The other one with the Guardian, I just kind of assumed that's how it worked. Like I think it took a long time for us to find out, right? About that one with the shields.
So that one also got confirmed on Twitter. And then the Powder Pandemonium bug, it is very explicitly not doing what the card says it should be doing, right?
I still to this day don't even know. I've played that deck a bunch. I don't even know what the bug is.
So if you plunder it, you get an extra monkey, right? So if you deal damage to the enemy nexus, it's counting itself as a plunder card, even though it's not a plunder card. It doesn't have plunder in its text. It should not be given.
Oh, gotcha.
So when it says 3 on there, you're actually summoning 4 monkeys, which
Okay.
I'm telling you, having played the deck quite a bit, it matters a lot.
Yes. Yeah, and I remember being like, why did I get so many monkeys? It had this number. I got that many. Yeah, so these ones are really weird, hey, because they're not kind of like the glitch ones we saw with what's it called? With the card that you love, Aikado.
Shellfolk, Payday Shellfolk.
With like Payday Shellfolk was like a weird, like it was like, I don't know, like it was like you just combo off and like, what was it? It was like paydays were free or something, and like
You could infinitely play them over and over. You could play it 15 times in one turn.
yeah,
So
like
it's
that's
not
like
a massive unit one turn.
that's something like breaks the game, you know? Like these ones are just like not working correctly, but like the sharp sight one, you know, like it was good. It definitely made Kaisa like a lot better. But it
was really good. There have been several games.
It's not like I
post-patch
win the
with
game by
there have
itself, kind of thing,
There have been
right?
several games where like Kaisa isn't flipped on turn 5. And if they had sharp sight and if sharp sight like counted,
They're significant.
would have been.
All three of them,
you know?
all three of them are very significant for sure.
Yeah.
But it's also like Kaisa's the best deck. You're gonna play Kaisa. You're gonna play sharp sight. What are you gonna do? Like not play these cards? Just not
So
play
I think
this
the
deck.
frustration points, at least with Kai'Sa, were when people very explicitly would like pre-commit sharp sight on their Valor to flip Kai'Sa and then copy it with second skin. That sort of stuff, right? Where you're very explicitly using sharp sight, not in like a normal instance that you would play it, but you're playing it very explicitly to bug abuse and to like get an advantage off of it.
100%. Yeah, this is why my take has always been like, I hate it when you get fucked by like people bug abusing. It feels bad for sure. But like, imagine when you're playing for, I don't know, millions of dollars, life-changing money. Then it's like, whatever's in the game is in the game. Like, do whatever the game lets you do. Like, that is the game. You know, you're not like cheating. You're not like hacking into the game to like, change things around. You are playing the game as it is currently coded.
So are you saying that you will stress defense opponent Nexus?
For $1 million, I would do it to you all day, Push, twice on Sunday.
Where are you getting $1 million, Jason?
I'm
Did you
so
pull
I'm saying
that
when you're
number
playing
out of?
It's regardless of the point, guys.
So that people can have like some consideration for you're playing for stakes. You're playing for something that matters. On the ladder, I don't give a fuck. It's not like as important. Like if you're playing
The ladder
casually,
theoretically matters.
it
right?
does. Yeah, for very small amounts. So what I'm saying is, I'm not gonna bug abuse on ladder because it's like, or even for like at seasonals or worlds, because this is not life-changing money.
So what I'm hearing is that your morals are dependent on money, and you should expect everybody else to.
1,000%. Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
1,000%. Look, when someone kicks down your door and starts like shoveling in fucking bags full of money, we'll see how long you fucking hold up to.
How do you feel about deflating footballs, buddy? You a big fan of that? Or?
I'm a huge Brady fan. Let me go get my Brady jersey. Okay, where is it?
Can I make a point, please?
Go for it.
Sure. It's a little bit grayer for me. I think there's some level of like line I can draw, but like say like day one where I played Kai's, I played sharp side. I was like, oh cool, this counted as a keyword for my evolve, and even if I did or didn't know it was a bug, I just assumed that's how it worked. And like you just can't like some people just don't know. They look at that the first time and it's like they just ingrain that that's how this card works. So it's hard to just like draw a line between who's abusing it and who's not because they think that's how the game works. And to a similar degree, I think like the Powder Pandemonium stands on a very similar line. It's so much hard to like realize that like that's a bug instead of that's how the card is intended to work. Now I think for something like, if you guys remember Cataclysm when it was released, you Cataclysm a unit and then your opponent could just drag away the unit. And that's clearly not how the card was supposed to work.
That was the best one.
And like I think like there's because like I think if you like I don't know what we should do with the people who say like abuse the Cataclysm bug, or I don't know if you could even track that or anything like that, but like to like these vaguer lines between like sharp side, because like if you don't know it's a bug then you think it's a mechanic, right? And then of course you're going to use it because that's how the card works. So I to some things like that, I just sort of turn like I just like, okay, that's how it works. That's how I can expect it to work, and at least I can play around that, right? If you learn it for the first time, the second time you'll realize that that's how it works, and then you'll do something differently. But as long as it's in the game, there's not really much I can do about besides complain if I wanted to, which I'm not really in the mood to do. So I just like I don't really play those decks, luckily enough. So on the other side, people can't blame me for bug abusing. But when it does happen, I just assume that's how it works and just let it go.
So I'll take even a different side of this than everybody else has. To me, it's kind of a prisoner's dilemma question, right? And when it's been proven that the ladder as a whole is just going to use the effect, then fuck it, I'm going to use the effect. Like that's where I come in on
Jesus,
it.
you don't even need money, hey? Just if everyone else is fucking doing it, I'm doing it too. At least I held out for $1 million.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that I'm not going to do it. I'm saying that it abuses me what your logic is.
Oh.
I mean, I would do it too if I decided to play those decks because that's how it works and that's how I expect my opponent to expect how it works. So that's like, if we're all on the same page, like it's sort of okay. It's just like, yeah, maybe it's unintended.
So like if like Payday Shellhook, if you queued into it, are you okay with your opponent abusing that? Or stress defensing your Nexus? If people
What do you mean by okay with it?
when Stress Defense came out, you could Stress Defense Nexus.
No, I understand. But what do you mean okay with it? Like, am I happy about it? Am I like, this is totally okay? I am not upset about this at all. Like, no. I'm like, fuck this. And then I'm going to go Stress Defense someone else's Nexus. No. No, it's a piss off. Those ones especially, I think are much different. Because they're like, right? That's like not how the card's supposed to work at all. You're not supposed to be able to Stress Defense a Nexus, but like
Red Powder Pandemonium.
So I think what Jason's arguing, Aikado, and this is actually something that I agree with at least a little bit, is that there are levels, right? Because the three that we have right now, the Key Guardian thing, the Powder Pandemonium, and the Sharp Sight that has recently been fixed, are all things that added a significant amount of power, maybe even a couple of actual full percentage points to their respective decks, right? But the difference between that and a card doing something that it should not be doing at all is very real, right? Because if Stress Defense isn't bugged, then you're not playing it at all. If the Payday thing isn't bugged, you're not putting that in a Shell Folk deck, right?
I agree. And you're also not playing Powder Pandemonium because it's not a playable deck.
Do you actually think that? Do you think that with one monkey less, the deck isn't playable?
I think it matters a lot. I think that a lot of the games that you're winning, you're pandemoniuming on like 5 or 6. And the difference between like 3 or 4 monkeys is the difference between like 4 damage. And like 4 damage in a burn deck matters a lot.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know. I think that there are definitely different levels, right? Like I think that, if something's basically auto winning the game and it's just like, it completely defeats the purpose of even playing the game because of stuff like, Stress Defensing the Nexus or the Jinx Infinite Rocket bug, if you remember that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that those sort of things, absolutely. If you're playing them, you're kind of a piece of shit. Kind of, at least a little bit of piece of a shit.
And so the difference there, and also Chad's talking about this a little bit, talking about there being a line you can't cross in competition, right? And so when you're doing actual tournaments, then it's on the TO, right? To say either you can or cannot do this, and you're saying this is the playing field that we're going to play with, and everyone's going to play by the same rules, right? And obviously those bugs we're talking about, like Stress Defense the Nexus, you're not going to allow that in tournament. And these ones that we're talking about right now, well, it's a little more of a gray area. And I would think that if there's going to be a tournament coming up, then it's the TO's job to notify people in advance, is this something that is part of the metagame or not?
Agreed.
Right?
Totally agreed. But on ladder, we can't pretend that we're not playing for stakes on ladder. Because not only are we playing for seasonal qualification, which matters to a lot of people, we're playing for X2, which is incredibly important. We've all talked about how important that is for qualifying for top cut. It is probably the most important thing that you can do to increase your chance of making top cut. But we're also playing for Worlds qualification. There are a lot of stakes on ladder right now. We cannot pretend that that isn't the case. Do you think it's okay to abuse bugs on ladder?
So I'm not going to do it myself, but like I'm not going to like hold anyone at the cross if they go do it. Like that's on Riot. Riot needs to fix their game or tell people to not use their bugs or quickly patch things. Gamers are gonna game. People are, and it's not on us as a community to try and police each other either.
I agree with like a levels thing, right? Like if there was a bug where like, Warning Shot did 20 damage to the Nexus and like effectively there's no point in playing the game because you're just autoing the game, right? And I think that anybody who, like you say theoretically, Warning Shot did just deal 20 damage to the Nexus. I think that anybody who abuses that, probably a piece of shit, probably shouldn't do it on ladder, and I absolutely would lambast the shit out of people for that. I think there are absolutely levels of like defeating the purpose of the game, and there's a certain level of like integrity necessary to like have a point to playing the game. And I think that stuff like, Powder Pandemonium probably isn't impacting enough games for me to care that much. I think that Sharp Sight probably like made me feel a little bit more that way, but even then, not that much.
And the Sharp Sight one was weird because I took the stance at the time before it got fixed, and I stand by the stance. I think that it is very likely that that's just going to end up being the way it is at some point. Sharp Sight is just going to be a keyword. So I was
it has been confirmed as a bug, right?
Yes, but the way that it's set up, that one didn't even feel weird to me at all, honestly.
So there were a lot of instances where like Kaisa gets 8 health because of Sharp Sight, right?
Yep.
There's a lot of instances like that which I think are incredibly impactful for the outcome of the game. And I think that like when it's already in a tier 1 deck and people are bug abusing it, like feels a little bit worse playing it.
Aikado, you're muted.
Oh,
buddy.
you're muted. Yeah.
Buddy,
Oh,
you're
your
ranting.
mic
You're ranting
cut
to
out.
an empty
We
theater.
can't hear
Can
you.
you not hear
Can
us
you not
either?
hear us
Oh
either?
no.
Oh no, he's
Oh.
just gone. We can't. You're done, buddy.
We should.
We can't. You're muted, my man.
We cannot hear
See
you.
no evil. You're no evil. See no evil. Have no Aikado.
Can you hear us?
I think he got.
Because we
the
can't hear you.
message. I
All
don't
right.
think he
Just
can
like
hear
quit,
us.
quit, rejoin, my man.
Is there chatting
Shoot.
here?
Anyways, so Akado's been bug abusing so much that his computer is full of viruses. That's how it works, right?
He just shadow muted Aikado.
That was
Did-
rough.
Is it?
Let me
It's
see
not. It's not on.
Aikado.
It's not on my end, right? Like no.
I mean, we
He
can still
muted
hear the
for
rest
he
of
muted for
us.
all of us at the same time.
Yeah.
So
And it's like he deafened too, because he can't hear us either.
yeah, his whole just audio, his whole audio system just went down.
Sucks, 'cause I think he was getting to the meat of his argument.
Yeah, he was really ramping up there, eh? His tirade was really coming to a crescendo. That's too bad. Anyways,
All right, let's cut in before he rejoins so he can shift
And
the
topic change quick.
topic.
yeah, quickly. Let's see what else we got. Patches next week. That's exciting.
Hopefully.
It could be some good stuff. I think we're all kind of hoping for some obviously bug fixes, like what we're talking about, right? But also like some hits to Bard and Kaisa would be a good time.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna get all the bugs because like were all of them public like a week ago?
Nope.
Yeah, no, right?
No,
Like
I
the
think
monkey
they
one.
were.
The monkey one, I don't think it was
The
like a
monkey
week
probably
ago.
wasn't. But the
I
Key
think
Guardian
that
has been around
I think
for a while.
Key Guardian was.
Key Guardian,
but I don't
yeah.
think the monkey was. Oh wait, he's back.
Oh, he's back.
Hello?
Okay, hold on. I have to
Did we
add
hear you?
him back in. Hold on. Can you
I don't
guys
think
hear
he
him?
can hear us. Hello? Okay,
No.
we still can't hear him.
We still can't hear you,
Mm.
my
Yes.
dude. Oh,
Still
okay.
no audio smile.
I'm sorry, man.
You know what?
You were-
It's been a while since we have had horrible audio
The
issues.
good,
in one of
it's
these.
true that the good die young. You were taking the righteous side of this argument, and so you had to be cut out. I'm sorry. It's rough out there.
Do you guys think we'll get a roadmap? You know that roadmap they promised us by the end of summer? Do you think we'll get that by the end of this month? Which is like end of summer?
Oh, right, because the roadmap ended with what? Jin or something like that?
No. So like when Dave put out that we're pivoting back to PvP article,
Oh.
he said there would be like a new roadmap because the other roadmap was basically we're pivoting to PvE. And so he was like, no, scratch that. We're going back to our core players. And there will be a
I'm
new
pretty
roadmap.
done expecting things from Riot as a rule.
Right?
Like-
Thank you. Thank you. Everyone gave me shit on Twitter when I was like everyone was ripping apart like the people that were like, what? There's no patches? Or there's no there's no balance patch, and everyone's like, it's only been 2 weeks since the new cards. Everyone knows it's 4 weeks. We're gonna get one in 2 weeks, and I was like, well, I don't know, are we? Like, yeah, that's what they said they were gonna do. I'm like, yeah, so like they said lots of things. I'm also in the very much like just because they said it like who actually knows camp because there's been so many
Maybe-
things.
Maybe we get it like afterwards. I also don't have expectations.
When would that be, Jason? When's
Start
Afterworlds?
of next year.
Okay.
No, Worlds is definitely end
It's
of this
perfect.
year. I think. Right?
2023 roadmap, right? Roadmap for the
Actually,
year.
we okay. So check this out. First, they said that the roadmap will come at the end of summer. And someone I talked to at Riot was like, "Yeah, we're trying to get it out by the end of July." And like, I think it was in June when I was talking to them, and I was like, "I don't think you're gonna. How are you gonna do that much work in that little time?"
You know what happened? Ruben joined, the head of esports, whatever, and just scrapped it and remade it. So it's waiting, right?
Oh yes, sure.
Mhm.
But I think we'll get it this month. I think we will because Dave specifically said it, and like, or at least an update at the very least. If it's like, hey, we're still working on it, we'll get it to you next month or the month after or something, you know? Because like it was his big like that was his thing. Like he was the one like, hey, I'm in charge now. We're going back to PvP. Sorry about that. So like, I don't know, it would just look so bad if he was just like, guess what, gonna leave you hanging on the first thing I ever announced by myself, just not gonna follow up. Can you guys hear him now?
Yo, let's
Hey,
go.
you're back.
Oops, that's
All
not
right,
all.
did you want to try to rant again and see if it does? See if
Hold
it
on.
lets you this time?
No.
Like the beginning
Hold
of
on,
your
wait,
rant, you were
wait.
like something about like, and this is why, and then you were just like on screen talking to a blank camera.
Based. Yo, let's go. I got fucking cut out, man.
Okay, he's back.
The
Right, new.
full cut out.
Right, new.
It's true.
You guys can continue on. I could try again if you want. It's up to you. Done for whatever.
Oh, we're talking about like the new roadmap that Dave said they would have for us now that
Wait,
they're
there's chat. Okay, chat says they can hear Aikado now. All right, we're good. We're good.
okay. The new
Awesome.
roadmap that Dave said they would have for us now that they've pivoted back to PvP. That was supposed to be by the end of summer. By end of summer, which is like end of August, right? Go to September is like the end of summer.
It's like September 21st or some shit, right?
Is that when summer actually ends?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if we get it this month. Then if not, maybe by next month. And I was saying though that like that was Dave's big thing, and he's in charge now. Like that was him like taking like that was he got fucking promoted to being the head. He came out and was like, hey, we're pivoting, we'll have a new roadmap. And so if he just like no shows on us, like on the first thing that he's promised, like that's pretty
You're
rough.
calling him out by name, huh? In front of
Yeah,
thousands?
right here, right now.
God damn.
Just tag him next
What am I
time.
supposed to call him? He who shall not be named that rules over legends of Runeterra. What are you talking about? What's his name?
Nothing.
Someone
Nothing
over
amazing.
at Riot.
Yeah, some person at Riot. Name rhymes with. Anyways, and then about Worlds though, we do actually check this out. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but so there's this season, right? With seasonals. There's next season, and then it says that this what would be the seasonals like number 4, like the one that comes after, is not gonna happen. There's no seasonals there, and instead that's where Worlds is.
Say what now?
What?
Okay. So there's this season.
Draw us a picture, or
I'm gonna
So
have
they-
to. Let me get the
they-
fucking. Let me get the sticky notes, the
do
marker.
you have a
and the-
whiteboard?
You're
If
Oh
telling
my
me
God,
we
just
need
have a
some
whiteboard.
crayons and some markers. Help us
they,
out, Jason.
they cut out an entire season? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying? Oh my god.
So
Yeah, but
instead
that
of having a
season's Worlds,
seasonals, it's just gonna be Worlds, and I think there's gonna have 3 weekends of Worlds.
So Worlds is no longer like December?
Well,
Do we actually have
when
dates?
does the season after this one is at the end of October.
Wait, I'm sorry, how do you know this? What's your source?
Let's see, playruneterra.com. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
Base?
Jesus.
I have not seen any announcement on them.
Well, it's the big one about Worlds and the seasons that they announced like a while back. So this is me telling you about it.
I think Florent's kind of old and maybe making shit up.
Yeah, the only one that knows how to read and pay attention, apparently. Fucking Zoomers.
Wait. Is the guy who didn't know the powder pandemonium bug until Aikado told him exactly how it works?
Hey,
telling us-
technically, I knew. I just chose not to pay attention to it. I was like, this said I got 3 monkeys, but I got like, are you supposed to get 1 more? Because I swear I got 2 more. I was just like, I don't know how this works.
Damn,
It's
he's
fine.
super bug abusing.
I
Oh
got,
my
I
god.
got enough monkeys.
That's crazy, dude.
So look, go to Play Runeterra, go to competitive, go to let's see, where is
Did
it?
they go to sleep? Is that an option?
Additional information on Lore Worlds 2002. So the season, we're in the season right now from July 20th to August 30th. Next season goes August 31st to October 11th. And then it says, well, we aren't ready to share an exact date just yet. The World Championship will take the place of the seasonal tournament of the season running from October 12th to December 6th. It will be split across several separate events.
So wait, October to December, we're just not going to bother playing ladder? Is that what I'm hearing?
No. We're gonna qualify for Worlds, and we're all gonna be playing really hard to practice for Worlds. So we have to.
On the ladder?
I'm not.
But those are different formats.
First of all, I'm not sure I'm going to qualify for Worlds right now because I've looked at the boards and it's fucking scary.
Just qualify, bro.
Sorry, just hit. My bad. Second of all, who the fuck practices on ladder? If I qualify for world, Jason, put your
Well,
fucking
that
hand
explains
down.
why he's not
I
qualified.
practice
for
on
Worlds.
normals.
Who the fuck practices?
Martian plays ladder all the time for practice too.
Oh my god. Look, I'm just gonna like take Henneke and Kever and we're gonna jam a bunch of games and you guys can copy our decks. Okay?
Thank you. Like every
Oh,
other
wait, that's
season.
That's
That's
way
what's gonna
easier.
happen.
Oh, thank God.
Ugh.
So yeah, speaking of people hating on people for not knowing patch schedules and stuff, literally all the world's info is like out there. Everyone's like, what? It's been out there for months.
Bro, if it wasn't on Twitter, I didn't see it. You know.
It was on Twitter. I assume.
Yeah,
I
like-
don't know.
3 months ago. You think I remember that shit?
Yeah.
Come on.
Speaking of Twitter, what's with their social presence? Like they didn't tweet out for like days, and then they're like, "Hey, by the way, servers are going down tomorrow." Like, it's so sad that they just don't have more communication with us. No,
Yeah.
no one else feels that way.
Is there anything else we like really want to talk about, or are we wrapping it?
Hold on, let the
Uh,
man talk about his
don't
bugs for a
abuse bugs.
second.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember. There's levels. There's certain amounts of integrity. Don't be a piece of shit. Don't abuse 20 damage warning shot. That's it.
Push, you got anything?
You can abuse 20 damage wording shot, but only on Path of Champions. I've seen speedruns, it works.
Okay. Okay. Wait, but what about my competitive Path of Champions future?
Coming
Is that
tomorrow,
going to
bro.
be marred by 20 damage warning shot?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
if you get it, that's skill.
It's doomed.
Uh,
All right. Well,
shit.
good,
Okay.
good show, guys. Good show.
yeah. Wait, I
Anyone
can't.
play
You got...
Multiversus?
No, but I watched you play for a little while.
Game's
Peace,
based as
y'all.
hell, dude.
Catch you later.
Later, bro.
Are you ranked 15 Iron Giant yet?
Dude, have you watched Grappler play, by the way? He's
No.
he's the cheesiest motherfucker on the planet.
I've
dude.
seen it. Like the skybox are so low, right?
It's so cringe. He doesn't actually fight his opponent. He jumps up in the corner and waits for them to go up there, grabs them, lifts them up in the air, and then just hits them 6 times off the top. It's the most cringe shit I've seen on the planet.
I saw a clip of that because the skybox are so low and you're so like close up. Like you just toss them and they hit the skybox.
It's so cringe, dude. It's respectable that he's hitting like top 15 with this, but like also, come on, man, play the game.
Okay, so you don't like bugs, and you don't like cheese, and you don't like White and Ravine.
I can't think of a way to like, bring it to LOR terms. So I apologize.
It's
for that.
like topping with Kai'Sa.
It's
Mhm.
like playing Burn, isn't it? You're just doing the one thing, like gotcha.
Well, yeah. Imagine like the whole game, revolves around like making smart plays and playing around value and building your deck and all this really cool shit. But then you just net deck like 31 drops and like it's good for some reason and you just win the game. Just, imagine.
All right, I'm gonna hop off. See you guys.
Peace, bud.
Later, bro. I can't know.
What's up?
Do you have to go? I'll chat. I'll chat for a little while. I've missed you.
Up to you, man.
We'll talk
I
to you in a bit.
have a date in 5 minutes, so. I have
Oh,
5
okay.
minutes.
Well, let's tell me about the tournament real quick, because I saw like some stuff, but I don't really know like what was this, how many Kai'Sa decks made top 8? Do you know?
Several. Kai'Sa was everywhere. Thralls is broken as hell and was everywhere. Monkeys had a surprisingly okay presence. They got knocked out. Only one of them made top 8, and the person who did make top 8 with triple monkeys ended up winning the whole thing. We talked to him, and he kind of high rolled as far as like missing all of his bad matchups, which is great because there are a lot of bad matchups for monkeys. But the tournament overall was a ton of fun. Metal got second place with Gwen Udyr. So
Oh wow.
it was something, man. Gwen Udyr secretly broken.
Dude, best of 3, right? Like
That's the 3.
you get Gwen Udyr, you get monkeys. Best of 3 so fucking good.
Yeah.
Was it more or less than 4 Kai'Sa decks in the top 8? Was it more than 50%?
I think at least 50%. I don't remember the exacts. I could look. Here,
Was
give me
Ian,
10 seconds.
Roji, me, I think also Lunari, At least 4.
Okay, so I'm looking at it right now. There
Okay.
was Pushpy, Roji, Luna, Ian, and Finny. So that's 5 people that top 8'd with Kaisa. Most of those also either had a Bard deck or Thralls. Sometimes both. Thralls is good. Thralls is really, really stupidly good. The people who otherwise topped were either hard targeting monkeys, so that's Snipe Cross, or were hard targeting Kaisa. Yeah, that's the meta right now. It's something, man.
Cool.
It's
All right.
something.
Well, I think we'll wrap it up there. Fucking love you, gents. Miss you. Can't wait to talk to you tomorrow. When I guess maybe we should bump this to like not Monday so that we actually have the patch notes. Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll
I mean, if there will actually be patch. Don't get people's hopes up, Jason. If tomorrow's literally nothing, it's just like down for 3 hours and then it comes back up and there's like no communication. Don't be surprised, okay?
Maybe they also gave us like a preview, like the last time, like the image with the buffs and nerfs.
Oh yeah, they might.
Yeah. New patch next week, right? That's exciting.
Yeah, that's
Isn't
what I'm
next
talking about.
week or-
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the patch is
That's exciting. I'm
8 days
super excited
with
for
the
it.
notes. Me too. All right, let
Dude,
everybody.
if Kaisa doesn't die, I'm gonna be so fucking sad. A
Oh,
season's
God,
with
don't
Kaisa.
even. Don't even. I think she'll still be around. I don't think they're gonna like smack her all the way down. But like she only
It
needs to be
depends.
brought down like so much to still be like playable, but not just like absurd.
Yeah.
I think she'll still be around.
I hope they just remove Rite of Negation and Hourglass from the game, and then like we'll be able to play shit that like actually beats it. Let's kill
Maybe.
Kaisa on site.
Who
I
knows?
think Evolve at 6 and Void of Illumination at 9 should be fine.
I don't know, man. I hate these band-aid solutions. Like there are definitely band-aid solutions that you could throw just at Kaisa, and like hopefully it'll move Kaisa out. It probably will. But like we consistently have the Shurima issue that just comes back season after season after season.
Yeah,
I want to hit Shurima.
Yeah.
I want to fucking kill Shurima.
I'm with you.
Hourglass definitely should be nerfed. That's for sure. Yeah.
Hourglass and
Rite
Rite
of
of Negation.
Fuck Rite of Negation.
I'm on the kill Rite of Negation.
Why does it have to
train.
counter all of the spells and abilities? Like, isn't that a bit much? Like, why can't it just be one? All of them?
I think when you play it, you should have to sacrifice a unit and a mana gem. Huh?
Oh my god.
And it hits you in the
and
Nexus
mana.
for 10.
Yeah, you actually sack half of your health. You Lagers yourself to
That's
play
right.
it. That's what I want.
What if you
Yes.
can only activate it if you have the Emperor's deck?
Oh, that'd be fun.
Ooh. If you have an Ascended in your deck, that's what activates it?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I like that. I do like that, actually.
All right, we're out of here. Later, peeps.
All right.
Yeah.
Peace.
See